to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, know me, I like. On the top rope, crowd already know how I fly him to the.
Yeah. I always forget to do shit.
Oh wow, this is you're running it like how I ran it yesterday. That's crazy. Cliff comes back, nothing changes.
Nah. You could do this show without me.
Yeah. Wow. Jeez. Anyway, well, sorry guys, we wasted 50-something seconds of your life with that one. But anyway, it's your boy, your cousin, your nephew. It's the Don of the Grappador region. It's the best kept secret of all the Mid-Atlantic. Had to switch it up on you today. All right. Chaz Evans here with the 3 Count Podcast Debate Show. Chaz and friends, let me introduce to you my friends. All right. Introducing first, all right, coming back from his 2-week vacation. All right. He cannot say I didn't give him a vacation. So he can't say I work him to death on this podcast. Nope, I don't. He took a vacation, 2 weeks. All right. So welcome back. All right. Here.
Yo, into the speed force he goes. Right off the rip. Well, if you guys are wondering, it is the Air Force Veteran Intel Specialist, the one you call on when you need to get the job done, and your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. That's right. I am here back because, Chaz was like, I desperately need your help because I can't manage all this, and I'm crashing everything left, right, and center. So I decided to make an appearance again and do all this stuff. So here I am. Oh, man. And seeing how we have lost the anchor of this show. Yo, can you hear me? Well, there goes Chaz.
What happened there? Hold on.
Hold up. Whoa, having some issues here. Having some difficulties already.
All right, there we go.
I
see we are. We having tons of difficulties.
Mm-hmm. Can see that happening. That tends to be the problem sometimes. Well, because, Chaz was in here. We started this off, and then, all of a sudden, he gets kicked off. So that's just what happens. So it'll be me taking over a little bit till he gets in.
My mic got completely.
He said his phone overheated.
Oh, his phone overheated. Oh, he's got it plugged in, and he's like,
"Yo, he
doing it at the same time." Oh, shit!
If you're wondering who this fine gentleman right here to the side of me is, it is the one and only, the Dark Lord himself, the guy who owes no money to nobody, but all nations owe money to him. Is the Dark Lord himself, Damien Fatal.
And I'm still waiting on the British to pay me.
That's crazy.
Or trying to. I know, right, man? I tried to help them out during the Revolutionary War, and that's how they repaid me. Not my fault they lost.
A bunch of people just throwing tea into the harbor and stuff.
I know. I tried to stop that too.
Yeah, it never works out that way. So
yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But so let's get to talking about some stuff that's happening. First thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about things that are going on. Check out our interviews. We have them coming on every Tuesday, so you guys get to peep those. Hang out with us. Check out all the stuff. Also, leave comments and stuff like that. If you guys don't know, you guys can follow all of our stuff right here on the bottom. Just at 3 Count Pod or at 3Count_pod on X, Twitter, Twitter X, exit Twitters, whatever.
That X thingy, I gave up.
Yep. So then subscribe to all of our stuff. You guys find us on Spotify. You get to check out all of our stuff. Like I said, we have interviews. We have all this other fun stuff that goes on. We're also going to be trying to debut some new shows, so you guys might be able to check those out. So please come hang out with us and just leave comments below, right? Also,
we also got something in the works too. Don't forget that. I'll talk to you afterwards, but that is definitely a go. The 3 of us just need to talk to the guy, and we can announce it probably next show.
Hey, we have lots of things coming up for you guys. I'm very excited. This is you guys will get to see. But also, don't forget ProWrestlingTees.com. Go check out all of our stuff on there, right? Or you can even hop onto For Your Wear. Check out Pure Ignorance's gear. You can also check out my gear on there as well. Always dropping new stuff. Always dropping new fun logos and stuff like that. Always. So
Yeah, this shirt will be available soon too.
there you go. See, Damon Fatal got merch his own. He wants you to buy it, otherwise he will find you and he will choke you out and then make you buy it afterwards.
Exactly. See, he knows.
See, and I wanted to add this up there too. Fans get mad over the opinions of three old guys, but Chaz got phone overheated and he got kicked out. So we'll see him when he pops back in.
There you go.
So, but let's go. Let's just jump into match of the week, right? So you tell me, man, what was your match of the week this week?
How much wrestling did I actually watch this week? I missed NXT. I saw most of Raw. Of course, I missed Dynamite. Edge and Sheamus.
Yeah,
There you go. I really enjoyed that one. I'm a big Edge fan too, but
yeah, between Edge and Sheamus and LA Knight and Theory, like I feel like those are the two big.
that
matches.
was good too. Yeah, those were good. That was good too.
Yeah, those are all great shows. So I definitely love those shows, those two matches. Edge, of course, just being just so driven to the heart, right? Because like pulling on heartstrings. It's his last match in Toronto, you know, and he was just being honest with the crowd afterwards, you know. And it was fun to see him like kind of go out on the shield and and come out with the dub. So I was definitely excited for him too. So I definitely have to agree with you. I think Edge has to be that move, and then we'll find out what his move is since now he's back. Oh, people around. So Chaz, do you back up?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your match of the week?
My match of the week? My match of the week is Mason Walls versus Tony Macco at SWA this last night. Two tag team partners facing off against each other. That match was fire. Like I don't care what anyone says. It was the finals for the Showcase Championship at SWA. Mason Walls ended up winning the entire tournament only because Machiavelli got hurt. Because if Machiavelli was there, he would have choked him out. But hey, congratulations, Mason Walls. But yeah, him and Tony, fire. Just fire.
Love it. All right. Well, we said Edge and Sheamus, as well as another one we threw out LA Knight and Theory. Or two other
LA Knight and Theory was my match of the week until I went to a show.
It's funny though, because like I didn't even talk about the fact that we went to SW. Well, you went to SWA, and then I went
and
to
still SWA right here, and still SWA Tag Team Champion.
So yeah, you were at SWA. I went to SNW Supernova Wrestling up in Maine. So it was crazy, man. It was just wild that we both kind of like we had shows, but we were in separate. Well, we were in separate regions and separate, just working. Because normally, like people who are longtime viewers of our shows, they're always seeing like us together, like at shows. So it's kind of wild. And we have different areas.
Yeah, I was at SWA, and there were people looking for Red Dog.
Yeah.
That's my brother.
So yeah, that was yeah. Who else is in the comments? Damien's brother is in the comments. What's up, Damien's brother?
What up? So let's hop over, man. Topic 1. So you tell us what the first topic is for today's show.
Alrighty, so let's start this one off with the big topic coming out of wrestling Twitter. Not even just wrestling Twitter, wrestling news. Period. Have you been living under a rock, especially Friday, Thursday night, Friday? You would have known that Cash Wheeler of FTR was arrested and he was charged with aggravated assault with a firearm. And the big question at the time was whether or not this would affect him going to Wembley and defending the belts. Now, my question to you guys, the topic is, will this affect Cash Wheeler's future in AEW? So we do know he pretty much he didn't get charged. What was he pretty much got off. They didn't take his passport or anything like that, so he's still able to go. So what do you guys think? We'll start with Damien, then we'll go Cliff.
All right. So yeah, this shouldn't affect his future. I mean, look at everybody that has passed through Planned Parenthood. I mean, look at the current state of things. I mean, Punk still got a job. The Bucks and Omega and Hangman still got a job. I mean, all he did was get in a screaming match with some random rando and flash the gun. Nobody died. Nobody got hurt. So I mean, shit. I don't see why it should affect anything. I mean, if it was me, that dude would have got pistol whipped. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I don't think
Cash Wheeler's a better man than me.
I don't think anything should come out of this. I mean, his future's pretty much locked in. Like, given some of those people's stories that have been coming out of AEW anyway, like this is just kind of minor compared to like other things. I know it's kind of like that's kind of shitty to say, but it is what it is. Like, unfortunately, we have that. We kind of live in a place where we legit say that we have a lot of shicey things that kind of happen in the industry, but he didn't shoot somebody. He didn't hit anybody, right? He just flashed a pistol at somebody. I mean, what are they gonna do? Like, kick him out for like 2 weeks? Like, is that what we're gonna suspend somebody? Because what did Jay Morant get when he flashed his gun? Wasn't it 2 games?
Ja.
What did Ja get? Was it 2 games?
I forgot what it was. I think I forgot what it was.
But there wasn't like they didn't like boot him out the league. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. So it is.
The most he's going to get is anger management.
Yeah. What the cops the judge is going to tell him, like, hey, you got to go to. Listen, and let's be real. Like, AEW's got some great lawyers, so he's probably going to be like, hey, I'll go do some community service and some gun training and anger management courses.
Look, as long as he had like his permit to carry and conceal, he gravy. He didn't pull it out. He didn't aim it at anybody. He didn't hit anybody with it. So this is like the first time he's getting in trouble for something like this too. It's gonna be a slap on the wrist because nothing dangerous happened.
He should lose.
Lose what?
He should lose.
Why? He should lose.
Why?
Lose the titles?
Yeah, he just lose the titles.
Why?
You asked about his future. You didn't say about losing the match in Wembley.
I mean, he should lose the belt. I think so.
For what?
Cause like you look,
we're doing what Arn Anderson.
It's got a. That's different. That's a promo. That's entertainment.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was a promo in the 80s with Arn.
It was a promo, but like, there should be some type of like consequence. Like,
thank you.
They shouldn't like. You're right. You're right, guys. AW got a good team of lawyers, and given his history, boom, slap on the wrist. That's fine. But like, it's the wild. Like, when does Tony Khan going to take control of his company? Like,
he doesn't need to make an example out of him because that was outside of wrestling. It ain't like he like did that at a press conference and was getting ready to like hem up one of the freaking journalists. This was outside personal. Has nothing to do with work.
Nothing. You got a reputation. You got a
Yeah, he's got a
reputation. You're a
reputation of
multi-billion-dollar
fuck
company.
around and find out. That's the reputation that he's got.
You're the
Fuck
revival.
around and find out. So, Cash, yo, bro, keep doing you.
Yeah, no, this was a man that said no flips, all fists. And he let me
Right?
know, hey, if it's not just fists, it will be gunplay.
Look, look. You being too corporate right now. Are you okay?
I'm
Did you
being
get
too
dropped on your
corporate.
head yesterday? Yeah, you are. Tony
I
needs to
did
do
actually.
something. Why are you gonna make an app? Why is he gonna make an example of him?
Let him know that they just can't be doing whatever they want in that company.
Guess what? That'd be the day that he lose half of
Vince would
FTR because
never.
I'd be walking.
Vince would
I'd be
never.
like, I'm out. I
Vince would never. Vince would turn it into a story angle. Don't
exactly.
don't do that. He'd be like,
You know he would.
Hey,
Triple H would never. How about that? Better. Triple H would never.
I got
Triple H would
I got
never.
an idea for you. Here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna use this, right? And we're gonna make your guys a gimmick into cowboys. You guys will come out with 6-shooters.
Yeah, it is not like they haven't done that before. Smoking guns.
I mean, just look at when Jay and Jimmy Uso got arrested for DUIs. They didn't even hesitate to use that as material. John Cena made a whole promo about it. I'm just saying, when it comes to the AEW side of things, like, come on, man. Like,
They sweep it under the rug and pretend like it doesn't happen.
at least turn
Because
it
Tony
into.
has no balls.
I think the bigger issue that I have with it, right? It wasn't even necessarily like Cash's situation, right? I think it was the situations around what happened, right? Because then you saw like all of AEW, right? The roster do the thing that roster is supposed to do, right? And that's like circle the wagons around and kind of defend their own, right? And that Cash was this big dude who legit was in court, okay? And I think back a couple weeks to what happened with LuFisto, right? And that was my problem was that, hey, she spoke out on a situation and everybody just ran her into the ground. And we're talking about a person who's been in the business for like 20-something years, just ran her down and tried to
about that.
everything about her. And she was like, hey, yo, these were things that were said to me. It was just, that was my problem with it. That was my biggest issue. Because it's like, I get you want to defend your territory, right? But when you look at something like this that happens, like LuFisto is talking about a situation that legitimately happened to her, and you ran her into the ground, right? Just try to take everything away from her. And then here's Cash, who legitimately gets arrested before he went and put on that banger match at Collision. You mean to tell me you'd be like, he's a great guy, guys. He really is, okay? He cares. I know he's a great guy. But yo, man, call it down the middle. Like, hey,
You know what the difference is, right?
money.
She was talking about the company. He did this to a random person.
Right.
So what so yeah, so it's kind of like it's one of those where it's like, oh no, you bad mouthing the company, so you ain't shit. Where this was outside of the company, and it's like, oh no, this guy's usually a cool guy, like he's a good person. So don't hold that against him. That's completely different circumstances.
To answer your question, 2 people didn't get arrested at the same time for DUI. It was 2 separate occasions that happened within like 2 weeks of each other.
Yeah, they
Well,
did.
yeah, it was like 2 weeks.
Remember, was it Jimmy? No, it was Jay. Jay was in the car with Trinity, and she told him, "I'll drive." He's like, "Nah, I got this." And then the cops pulled him over, and he tried to fight the cops. And then 2 weeks later, there goes Jay, and Jay gets busted too. Oh
Yeah,
wow!
I mean, look, everything comes in twos with them.
Yeah, Jimmy gonna exit too.
Facts.
But
Hey, yeah.
yeah, Chaz, you taking it too far, man. Let it go.
Whatever.
Quit defending the company.
Whatever.
He don't need to be
You know what?
punished by the company. He's being punished
Yeah,
by the
well,
law.
True.
whatever. Moving on.
Don't
Let's
want to
move
have
on.
everybody against him.
Don't be mad.
What?
Be
I
mad.
know.
Temp check. Temp check.
Wait, I got
Temp
this.
check.
All right, my hottest
Hey.
Cash.
Yeah.
Cash is my hottest. Cash Wheeler. That's my hottest wrestler. You already know who the coldest is. That
Who's your
fool
coldest?
Chris Jericho. Come on now. You know it's Jericho. You know it's Jericho.
Man.
Eh,
Can't front. Can't front.
I can't either.
What you got, Cliff?
All right, let me give you two hottest wrestlers that I want to showcase. Right, first one, I'm just gonna put out there. Edge. Let's be real. Like that match that he had yesterday was, or on Friday was phenomenal, man. Like that. That's just. It is what it is. I mean, that guy, 25 plus years in the business, and just to set it off, let people know like why he was as good as he was after missing 9 years.
I think he's gotten better.
Yeah.
I agree.
Storytelling.
If you want to be honest, if you want to spade a spade, I think he's gotten better.
Yeah. He can tell, like he tells the stories like a lot better because I think he
Yeah.
understands too, right? And something he talked about in his promos, like when he first got back, was that he's older, like he's like not as strong as he used to be. He doesn't have his fast feet, but he just has a lot of grit. And I think that's where like I love the character twist with like, hey yo, I can be smart, but I'm just also gonna use like this never die attitude that he's got, and I like that. So I definitely
Well, he's playing to his strengths and hiding his weaknesses very, very well.
fast.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman,
And that's a true master of our craft. When you're able to do that and still change the way you wrestle, but still be, who you are. Yeah, you're good.
I think the second person I'm going to showcase too, and this will be funny because this will be a little controversial, but IWTV's heavyweight champion Alec Price had a banger of a match at at Americarana, and yeah, I'd like.
Why is that controversial? What?
Come on, man! Like if anybody was paying attention to the Twitterverse, man, that shit went left. No reason why, but let's be real. I just want to shout it out. You know what I mean? Like, he had a banger match. And then at the Wrestling Open, he had another one too. So I just, throw some flowers after the flowers. And then my coldest wrestler of the week, I got to give it to Bailey. While she's like, she's around, like, it's just looks, I don't know what it is, man. I'm just not feeling like this whole supporting role kind of character. I know it's going to change, but I'm just not really feeling the whole supporting character.
I can understand that.
I wouldn't say.
What about you, pal?
My hottest wrestler, crazy enough, Samoa Joe. Like Joe,
I saw some of what he did on Saturday,
Joe,
but I love Joe, so you good.
Joe has really, let's just say, I've enjoyed Joe more in this CM Punk Joe build up than anything else. CM Punk had to get his lick back sooner or later before, they fight in Wembley. So you knew it was coming.
That was funny, by the way. That was funny what he did, though.
It was.
That was
absolutely. I get it was. It was. It definitely was. But
it was entertaining.
Man, Samoa Joe just got a fresh new being on Collision, and he's just got a fresh new legs onto him, really. And I've been loving everything Joe's been doing since he's really been a staple of ROH and Collision. I've been loving Joe. So Joe's my hottest wrestler. My
Morning where? Oh no. Morning where?
So that's Phil's way of saying hello to everybody when he first meets them. So that's
okay. Morning. I'm like, where the hell are you? Like shit.
I was like, yo, I just don't feel so well.
Oh,
Like,
you were. Damien thought he had that first taste of international viewership. Wait a minute, where are you coming? You woke up and you were watching My Ugly Mug?
Right? What's wrong with you?
better be out there in Australia or something.
Right? Fuck. Better be late morning.
Oh man. But my coldest wrestler, man, it's Chris Jericho. I don't want to ride the bandwagon. Jericho. I don't want to see Jericho versus Ospreay. I don't care what in any century.
You and me both.
Even prime Jericho. I don't care. No. I was fine with not getting Kenny and Ospreay in Wembley. I understood that because that's a New Japan thing. Like, that's fine. But Ospreay versus Jericho, no. I would have rather seen Takeshita versus Jericho. Would have been better for me. Why? They clash, and Jericho has proven everyone wrong when he's in these high profile matches. He can still go. It's just his creative choices are just questionable. I don't.
Man, his whole life is questionable right now. Stop lying. Stop fucking lying. Nigga getting arrested in hotels, lying to his wife about being inducted when he's like been cheating. That's why he was 2 hours late or 6 hours time lost. Whatever that bullshit he's talking about. That nigga crazy. Oh, trying to tell you.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there hanging out, but I have no idea.
Look, man, something wrong with Jericho. He needs an intervention.
I will say that he does need someone to tell him no. I don't think anyone tells him no enough in that company.
Oh, they're not going to.
Exactly. They're not going to. I hate to say it. We can debate this another week, but I do believe that Jericho in AEW is Hulk Hogan in WCW.
Probably.
There's the hot take. No, in a sense of no one's telling him no enough. Because let's be real. As great as everyone wants to say the Mimosa match was,
what match? What did you say? Are you speaking German over there? Chinese? I don't.
The match on the boat, when they were on the boat, and the mimosa, the orange juice, him and Orange Cat.
Wasn't on the boat.
That was on the boat.
No, it wasn't. That was on a pay-per-view.
It was? I thought it was on the boat.
No, it was on pay-per-view.
That was in Jacksonville? I thought that was one.
No,
they threw Sammy in the pool.
Yeah.
That's what that was on the boat. There it is. I knew one of them because they was in a circle. I said somebody got thrown in something in water or whatever on a boat. That's what it was. You're right. Yeah, that match.
They should have threw him overboard.
No. So Jericho, my coldest wrestler, Jericho. Chris Jericho.
That was Revolution 2021, right? Or something like it was a pay-per-view that was in Jacksonville.
It was. I was so mad.
It was Revolution. You're right, because that was that show that just felt like it was just a weird knockoff Attitude Era show. I remember because I was on the phone. I was on the phone with you and Chris Idol, Damien, and we were watching that show.
Yeah, I was so mad about that whole entire pay-per-view. I think I paid for that bullshit.
And I was like, even I went because that was the last one I bought. Because it would have been that was the last one I bought.
No, you buy them all. Stop admitting to.
I buy them all.
Chaz, you buy them all.
Chaz just watches it on instant replay through Twitter.
I know.
How he pays attention to the wrestling world.
That's how I watched the Flash. I watched the Flash on Twitter.
Wow. Wow.
Chaz will be like, "Oh man, did you guys see that Canadian destroyer that happened in All Out?" We're like, "Yeah, that was 2019, bro." Like, oh, I thought that happened last week. It just popped up on my timeline.
That's that's factuals. That legit
He
happened.
did a Canadian destroyer off the ladder into 2 tables. Yeah, that was the Lucha Bros and the Young Brother.
The Young Brothers.
The
That's
Young
the Young Brothers. The Young Brothers.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
they might as well name that faction that because they're always around each other working.
That is true.
All right, let's take this to the let's go on over to the WWE side of things. Let's talk WWE. Let's talk about the LA Knight problem.
LA Knight problem. What problem?
So should they pull the trigger on LA Knight? But the question is it too late to pull the trigger on LA Knight? So Cliff, you started, then Damien.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna tell you right now. I know, like the whole talk about like the let it cook, let it bake, and let the crowd keep wanting it. But we had the same situation happen with who had the T-shirts that they were just popping off, and they did the T-shirt run late, like 3 years ago, and the crowd was over it, and they didn't strike when the iron was hot, and it waited forever to get some T-shirts put out, and then crowd just didn't want them, so the WWE got stuck with a whole bunch of shirts and stuff like that they just couldn't get rid of. I think when you go to another country and the crowd is hot for you, and then you're just like, oh, well, that's just Saudi Arabia. We're not really worried about them. And you go to England and the crowd really gets hot for you, and you're like, that's just England. We're not really worried about it. And then you go back to the U.S. and the crowd is still hot and electric for a dude named LA Knight. Yeah, I think you probably should have pulled the trigger and like get him. I think the biggest issue I would have had running into is the same issue that they did with like the Fiend and everything, right? Where do you go once they win the title? Like, where do you go once they win the championship? Where do you go? What do you do? How do you navigate the waters now, right? And how do you not get the crowd to not get burnt out, right? But I think LA Knight is one of those rare acts that we've seen him, Eli Drake, we've seen him in NWA, we've seen him in Impact just tear like the whole roof down. So to have him come back, to have him here as LA Knight and just kill it, and there's like, yeah, we're just gonna keep waiting. We're keep waiting. The problem is the more you wait, the less the audience is not gonna care. And you don't have to give him the heavyweight title. That's not what I'm saying. But God bless the US championship, the Intercontinental championship, like it doesn't matter. Just at this point, like it has to be something that the crowd can just really get behind it. I know you had plans, right? So you wanted a Latin champion such as like Rey Mysterio or Escobar, and obviously we got Rey, being that person that's going to carry on the torch. But when you get someone that's white hot and the crowd pops as loud as they pop, let's be real, it was an intermission session that they had that they put exclusive on YouTube, and that went viral, right? And we're just talking about when he came out and he was just cut a promo, beat up Top Dollar, right? So if a guy can come out and the crowd just goes electric for a dude, you have to start thinking maybe we do pull the trigger on this guy. And I don't understand why you don't. And I think the crowd now at this point, they're still going to be hot for him for the next, let's be real, like the next couple months. But WWE's not pulling that trigger, and they're not going to pull that trigger for him.
Damien, can I just take? Can I say something first before you go?
Sure.
What if they are building him for the heavyweight title? You ever thought about that? Like, what if let's just put it out there. Let's just say, what if it's not Cody? Like everyone's thinking it's Cody. We're all fixated on Cody. And what if it's not Cody? What if it's LA Knight? What if it is him? And what if it is that it is the slow burn? What if we're building it up, making you crave it, and you're looking at the Intercontinental title, you're looking at the United States title. What if he's taking that title off of Roman Reigns before WrestleMania?
There's gonna be a lot of pissed off people.
Maybe it would it be, but who's to say? And who's to say he's not a transitional champion?
That's the problem, though. That the fans are gonna want that.
No, you're right. They're not. But here's the thing: is this? Do you think? That going into WrestleMania after the tickets are just after all the numbers that with the tickets that just sold, being the highest grossing WrestleMania, all that for Philly over this past weekend, you think that all those people who pay tickets going into WrestleMania at this moment in time would not be just as hot or maybe even hotter if going in, and they wouldn't want LA Knight going into the biggest WrestleMania already off jump, the biggest WrestleMania as the world champion? He's main eventing it.
I don't know, man.
What is it like? There's no way. There's no way to. There's no fan that goes. There's no fan. There's no way that fan goes. I don't want that. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. That's because that's insane to think about.
But you're literally banking on the fact that from August, right, till March, that the crowd is still gonna stay just as hot for LA Knight now, then, and that's a long a long process because it's not at a slow burn because the crowd is the crowd's reactions when LA Knight come out are equivalent to Seth Rollins when he comes out, to Roman when he comes out, right? Like he gets those big reactions. The crowd pops hard for him. I think this would be the time where you capitalize and you put you got to give the fans something because they're into him hardcore. There's just no doubt about it. So if you back up and you're like, we're just gonna keep waiting, we're gonna miss the boat, and the crowd's not gonna be with him on it. They're gonna be they'll cheer for him, yay, you did it. But they're not gonna be it's gonna be it's about time versus yeah, you fucking won. And that's the problem.
Go ahead, Damien.
Well, okay. So, from a business standpoint, I understand why, and here's the reason why. So, yeah, us as fans would love to see him, get his just due now, and that's just because the average fan is very, very impatient. No offense, but just saying. In general, the average fan is very, very impatient.
Yep.
From a business standpoint, like you said earlier, what if you put any title on him, and then it's like, what now? And then the fans lose interest. So now that's a bunch of money, possibly tossed to the wayside. Instead of building him now, keeping the crowd behind him, because let's be honest, if you can hold the crowd for months and months on end and still get the fuck over, your money.
Yeah.
Point blank in general. Not just fast flash in the pan moment money. I'm talking about longevity money. And that's what they're really looking at. So I get why they're taking their time. I'm enjoying every bit of it. And I believe that LA Knight can carry this for a while. He's good. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. He's got that character down pat. I think he can pull it off. So, like I said, I get it. I get why not rushing into it. There's plenty of times where I rushed into things and it didn't turn out right, and it was really good at first, and then as soon as you pulled the trigger, it was like, why did I do that? I should have went left instead of going right.
Mm.
And I feel you on that, right? This is the problem I have with it, right? Is I feel like there was somebody a couple years back. We were all talking about how great they were and that they were missing the boat. And then finally it was like a tag team that was like getting over. It's almost like if you're like the fashion police, right? Like fashion files, like back in the day. Remember, I don't want to say back in the day. That's
Yeah.
for us. Anyway, but like fashion files was like getting over, right? And we were so excited for the way that Tyler Breeze and Fandango were working together, and it was entertaining. But there was like nothing that was going on. And then when they finally won the tag title, the NXT tag titles, we were all kind of like, "You guys did it, cool."
I get what
Yeah,
you're saying,
and
and that's kind of the price that you end up paying sometimes. It's a gamble, regardless of how you see it. Whether you pull the trigger too early, right at the right time, or too late, there is always that chance.
yeah,
So it's 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 a thin line. It's one of those where you're always gambling. Period. Fucking wrestling's a gamble.
it really is. And
And
how
Right.
because the fan base is so fucking fickle. They say they
Yeah.
want one thing, when it happens, they're like, "No, we don't like it
Case in
because you're
point.
telling us to like it."
Yeah, yeah. Case in
case in
point,
point,
Dolph Ziggler.
yeah,
That
poor
fizzled
Dolph.
out. When Dolph won, a huge pop, which is still top three Money in the Bank
It was
cash ins,
huge. It was huge.
huge. But after a couple months, and then of course the injuries, concussions happened there too. But yeah, that fizzled out very fast. Those fans were like, "All right, this is
Take it
not
off.
what we want."
Take it on somebody else.
Yeah,
Because you gotta get you. All right, so when you're a champion, you have to have the right people in place as your challengers. And
yeah,
sometimes right away, the first couple of challenges might not be that right fit, but you need to make sure that the lineup that you got going against, that you can produce like those captivating moments. And sometimes it's hard to do that, especially if you don't have the right fucking people.
Yeah, I mean, look at Kofi Mania was like it's a perfect example of that, right?
yep. Another one.
Randy was like the best choice right off the rip because it just made sense. He had a great story. They
Right.
already had a lot of history. After that, what?
That's why they probably should have picked some other people, and Randy should have been the last feud before he lost the title.
Yeah,
The end it with a bang. Like sometimes you put the wrong people first, and then like the order gets all fucked up. It has to be meticulous and planned correctly.
yeah, I agree.
Because I mean, I've had some shit title runs where it's like,
All right,
I,
let's play the card out, right? Let's play the deck out. LA wins the title, right? Who's first? After let's just say after Roman, who's first?
Cody.
So you doing LA Knight versus Cody? You trying to flip? You trying to flip LA to heel?
You're right. Touche.
yeah,
Touche.
we're talking about heels, and we're
You're
talking, and
right.
they got to
You're
be
right.
big
You're right.
heels.
No, you're right. Let's look at SmackDown then. Look at SmackDown.
Or the big heels on SmackDown outside of the Tribal Chief.
That's the issue, right? Like that's the issue.
I mean, okay, you got Austin Theory. That could be
All
a
right.
possibility. Um,
That's the only one I can think of.
that's the only one I can think of too.
Like, and that's the problem, though, right? Like,
Hold on, is Lashley and the Street Profits? They getting a little dark, aren't they?
we don't even know because
We're not sure what their alignment is at the moment.
yeah, because right now they still get like big fan pops, and Bobby Lashley just comes out with them. Like
He
he's
just
not even.
I don't know. That's
Yeah,
Well, if that dynamic change, you got Lashley
I
if he
think,
turns heel.
and that's so. There we go. Right. So, I think another person you're gonna have to throw in there. You're gonna have to throw in there Solo Sokoa because
Yeah,
Yeah.
we get you have him, you have Roman, right? And that's in theory. That's kind of it. Like what do you do?
yeah,
You call up, you bring back Baron Corbin.
Sheamus, you get they can turn Sheamus heel.
You can, you can.
yeah. You
You can turn
could.
the Brutes heel.
But they just got that, like right now, right? If you play the story out the same way we play the story out, you just pretty much made him face and then just had him and Edge just put on that banger match. That's where like you're kind of like,
So it's one of those where to see the thing is now him winning the United States title opens up a little bit more leadway and more people that he can face.
yeah.
That's true. Yes, absolutely. I
And you
was
take
just
And
saying,
I
I was
really
just
feel
putting the
like
what if
that's
out
the
there.
route. Oh yeah, I know what you were saying, but I'm just saying that would be. I mean, from my business standpoint, that's where who would be my next United States champion
Yeah.
and that's where I
after
was
Ray.
came from.
Like after, yeah,
That's why I didn't say. That's why I didn't say the top titles, right? Especially, I was like, you got to give the crowd something, right? Whether you also he goes to Raw and he challenges for the Intercontinental title, or he challenges for the U.S. title before Ray did, right? Like that's it. Like that's the
What if he
spot.
does? What if he faces? What if he faces Roman? At least up in this point before he even wins one of these singles titles. What if he faces Roman? I mean, we know he's the end result. He's not going to take the dub. But
I mean that'd be a fun match. That'd be good for him.
Maybe an
And
angle.
that loss, that'd be good for him. It'd be a very
exactly. What
interesting
if we're saying,
match.
what if like who's to say he's not facing Roman at TLC or something? And
There will be no TLC.
well, whatever the show is in December, whatever it is, or who's to say that he's not? Who's to say like Survivor Series? It's not what you call it. There's not about to be Roman LA Knight. Like who's to say like they do some random fatal 4-way match and I don't know where LA Knight takes that win. You don't think they're going to be as crazy for it as they are right now, if not crazier?
I mean, they might be.
They would pop.
Are you really willing to bank on that? Knowing, sorry, not that I'm trying to knock one crowd or another, knowing your crowd, are you really willing to bank on that? Because you like, let's be real, Vince had a knack for being able to. He had a lot of strikeouts, right? But he had a knack for being able to hit home runs with certain people at the right time. And we saw, like I said, there was a bunch of people in NXT that you should have put the title on that was on fire, and you were just like, nah, we'll give them a little bit more time to give them a little more time to bake, and then you burnt them. The crowd was exhausted.
I mean, like I said, I already told you, it's a gamble. It's a gamble, but it goes on not just the company either. It's also the wrestler.
Yeah,
If this is why I said if a wrestler is able to keep fans' attention for
Yeah.
a long period of time before they get that big ha moment, that's good. That means you got longevity. That means you can always be trusted to be put in that position. So it's like it's. I feel like it's bigger than that. And like I said, I mean for me, it's a little different. You know, I'm starting to look at more behind the scenes shit, more of the you know what I mean. So I look at wrestling now a little bit different instead of just from the fan perspective. So it's kind of just one of those things that it is what it is, and that's in any wrestling company, even the one that I despise. It's some of the decisions they make. I get it, and I understand. It makes sense.
All right.
I feel like right now, speaking of the other company, just missing a boat on Powerhouse Hobbs.
Dude, they keep missing that dude.
Bye.
It's yeah, and
They keep driving.
it's
But see, that's another person that, even though he hasn't really got his true opportunity, he's still fucking popular. He's still doing his thing. He's still keeping the attention of the audience. So it's not necessarily the end of the world.
Right.
He's showing that he's got longevity and that
right.
he's just going to keep on pushing.
And
That's
Miro.
what You don't even get me started with that. They don't know what they're doing with that. That's sad. He needs to go back home. At least he'll get paid a lot more for doing nothing. Shit.
That's funny. All right, what grinds Damien's gears?
Ah, ah. It's a tie between Chris Jericho and Tony. It's a tie this week.
Okay.
I'm mad at Tony for taking forever in the day to announce a fucking card. Now I'm going into this not caring. I'm getting ready to put down hours for a full-time job, plus probably an extra 3 hours on top of that. In one day, I'm getting ready to work a double. I'm not looking forward to it. Why didn't he make it interesting? Why is he being so late about it? What's like? Oh, fuck me. And I just want Jericho to stop. Just let it go. He just somebody needs to tell him no. Somebody needs to put him in like a rehabilitation center, or like. And I'm not saying he's a drug addict. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's just because nobody tells him no, not even his wife. I mean, she did believe he was like 6 hours late. So I mean,
Thank you.
yeah, fuck Jericho and fuck Tony Khan.
All right.
Assholes. Those are two people that should not know each other.
This or that, Cliff. What we got?
So let's bring it up, right? So we're having a lot of fun talking about just random ass stuff that's going on with the shows, right? So let's talk about the Better Be show, right? Well, we're not doing necessarily one versus the other. This is how it's going to be. We're going to do WCW Thunder versus NXT.
Huh. I already got my answer. I got mine.
I got my answer.
I got mine. That wasn't hard. Huh. I'll even go first if you like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fucking NXT hands down. One person's name, David Arquette. Enough said.
I thought he was the Nitro guy, though. He wasn't on. I don't remember.
He won the title on Thunder.
Oh, yeah. He did win it on Thunder. I'm over here thinking about like the good things that happened on Thunder, like the introduction of the back.
Look. Thunder wasn't even for the BCD squad. It was the total EF squad. And maybe a little bit of the Z. Nobody wanted to do that show. Nobody. After the first month? The only way you were getting a star in there if it was a pre-tape.
Oh my god.
And not even a match. Like them talk. It was bad. It was bad idea. Bad idea.
It was run very bad. Now I'm like, damn, dude, Arquette did win it on that show. I was like, I forgot. Forgot it happened.
Oh, not me. Not me, because I was mad when I saw that. I remember it.
Like me personally, I was thinking about, because I remember when the Wolfpack came onto Thunder and like that was their show for like the first month, or like first couple months, and I was like hyped about seeing them. So I was thinking about them in like Undisputed Era, and then I got thinking like, oh yeah, I did like NXT like a lot more like back than I would have said WCW's Thunder. And now you said that, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to lean more towards Pat.
I lived through NXT.
You got lucky. I lived through both.
I lived
forgot
through NXT. By the time I was watching wrestling, WCW was already closed.
When weren't you born? Like right after the Monday Night Wars?
No, thank you. I was born in the Monday Night Wars. Thank you very much.
Well, that means your parents cared about you and didn't let you watch. It's good parenting.
Yeah.
You should have not been watching any of that at all.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You're right. Knowing my mother, oh no, that would have never happened.
I watched it. I grew up in that shit
If
as
wrestling,
a
if
young
wrestling, if
teenager.
wrestling, if wrestling was what it was during the Monday Night Wars when I was a child, when I was watching it, yeah, no, there was no way that no.
Oh yeah, no. See, my parents didn't
While I
give a
was
shit.
watching SmackDown, nothing wild really happened on SmackDown like it happened on Raw.
Well,
That's
that wasn't going to add it.
rare.
Monday Night Wars and then SmackDown came along. The beginnings of SmackDown was crazy.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Giant
Well,
fist.
Yeah, named after the SmackDown Hotel. You know what Rock did there, don't you?
yeah, I do. Yeah,
You made pancakes.
yeah.
I guess that's what the kids are calling it now.
On that note, if you made it to the end of this show, you get an achievement. If you're an Xbox user, if you're a PlayStation user, you get a trophy. If you are on your PC and you're still gaming, you're a nerd. Anyway, make sure you follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. All right, whether it's X, Instagram, TikTok, or Threads, at 3count_pod on X and 3count_pod everywhere else. Yes, I'm calling it X. They were calling it X on ESPN and everywhere else. I was like, all right, let me do it.
Stop
So you're a
Don't
sheep.
do that.
You're
Don't,
a sheep.
don't do
You're
that.
a fucking sheep.
Wow.
That's what it's
Wow.
called.
Because
And your generation's supposed to be woke.
That's crazy.
My generation's supposed
I cannot wait till ESPN tells you to read a fucking book. Wow.
Right?
That's not. It's not even in like
Sheeple.
that shape.
Sheeple.
Go read the new Jose Canseco's book. I didn't take roids. You will love this book. Chaz here with a hard copy. Like, I got it, guys. I'm gonna read it because ESPN told me to.
You done?
Shame on you, Chad.
You're not done. Well, get it out, brother. Get it out.
I can't wait until there's a new Randy Moss rap album that you're gonna be telling me to listen to because ESPN promoted it. You talk about, hey man, did you check out Allen Iverson's new poster? Yeah, bro, ESPN putting it out there. I'm gonna go hang it up on my wall.
Well, I will be look, I will be watching First Take now that Shannon's on.
Yeah, look at you.
Bro, look, Uncle Shannon's on ESPN now. I gotta watch Uncle Shannon.
Only Monday and Tuesdays.
That's fine.
Oh,
I mean,
he's
that's
still
2 days
alive?
out of the week. I don't watch First Take anyway. I watch highlights.
Just like you do with every wrestling show.
That's not
And he'll probably get fired in like 3 months, so you better watch it now.
No, he will not.
Then they firing people left and right.
That's so they could pay him.
Until and 3 months from now, he'll get replaced by somebody that'll do it a little cheaper.
I know. Hey, listen, ESPN, if you're looking for a guy, that's him.
Yes, I'm the guy to replace Shannon Sharp.
At ESPN, right here, okay? At Chaz_the Don. That's the guy that replaced Shannon Sharp.
They don't want me on ESPN.
Stephen A. don't want to smoke.
Wait till the first time that you and Stephen A. get into our argument. And
Stephen A. don't want to smoke. Stephen A. don't want to smoke, okay? Let me get on there for WrestleMania next year with him. Help promote WrestleMania. Let me argue with Stephen A. about what's going to go down.
I wish I was on the debate show the week that Paul Heyman said what he said, man. I know, like, we're supposed to end the show. So
I know, right?
You guys did each other when he shut Stephen A down, and Stephen A was like, "What about Bobby the Brain?" He's like, "Who cares? He's dead." In his face.
Ah,
I was like, "Hey," I was like, "That's what you get, bro. Like you put it out there."
You
And
tried to
this
play.
man-
Look, you can't play Paul Heyman.
No,
You
he's too
can't
good.
play
no, you
Paul Heyman.
can't.
Oh.
Oh,
But anyway, look, check out the next episode of the debate show, okay? Chaz and Friends. It might be Cliff and Friends next week, because next week's Cliff and Friends.
it won't be.
It will be.
It
It
won't
will
be.
be. It will be.
Why are we? Why are you being lazy?
I'm not. I'm making Cliff work,
Yeah,
so
you
now he
are.
has to make himself an intro for Cliff and Friends.
But
Because now
weeks.
I didn't put it on the air, and I'm gonna make a post on Twitter, which makes it official.
Which is gonna be wild because like you and I have talked about this, and I know you probably don't remember, and I'm gonna tell everybody here right now. I'm gonna be on vacation next week as well.
oh yeah,
We talked
I
about
do remember that.
Goodbye.
We did.
yeah.
Oh, why are you leaving? Where
The
you
week
going?
The week after, yeah, I'll definitely do Cliff and Friends.
So, Damien, you're running the show next week. You're doing Control Center next week.
Sure, why not?
Cool. Let's bring Twitch back.
Yes.
Maybe.
Or bring Idol. Yeah.
No, he might. We could bring him. He
We
needs to
could.
make his monthly appearance. He needs to make his monthly appearance.
Yeah.
His
We'll figure it out.
His
Yeah, it's
quarterly
quarterly.
appearance, yeah.
His quarterly appearance. My bad. We'll
the
figure it out.
third quarter is definitely about to end.
Yeah.
So
He needs to jump on there before he jumps the broom.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. True.
Before we never see him again.
Oh, what are you talking about? I mean, I'll still talk to him. I don't know about you. He ain't got a choice but to talk to me. He doesn't have a choice. I'm part of the whole package. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
yeah, you know.
And that's us.
Kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Stay connected.
Peace.
Kawhi.
Later.
He didn't say it. He didn't say.
What?
Hey, 3 Count Podcast listeners, it's your host, the icon Chaz Evans here. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. That's the Facebook, that's the Twitter, that's the Instagram, that's the Snapchat. Wait, we don't have Snapchat. The photo, but we don't have Photo Bucket. But make sure you follow us on all those things at 3 Count Podcast or at 3count_pod. That's on the Twitter, by the way, 3count_pod. But yeah, definitely also make sure you check out our YouTube channel and subscribe to our videos. And if you really like us a lot, definitely go find us on ProWrestlingTees.com/3CountPod and get yourself a 3 Count Podcast t-shirt. And make sure you continue listening to us.